Need to connect Power BI to a SharePoint folder, but you don't know where to start? You're in the right place. In this video, I will show you the easiest way to pull SharePoint data into Power BI so your reports update automatically without manually uploading files every single time. My name is Allison Gonzalez. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer here at Pragmatic, and we are gonna dive right on in to the Power BI desktop. And we're gonna be bringing in some files that are currently saved to SharePoint. Now, this is the second episode in my series about using the folder connector in the Power BI desktop. And in the first video, I show how you are able to use data that's stored in a local folder. The issue with that is that you need to then have a gateway set up with Power BI Service to be able to allow it to go down, get those updated files from the folder, and run through all of the steps and the processes to get that updated data. If your data is stored in SharePoint, you no longer need that gateway because you are using, up-to-date cloud source as what you're using in Power BI, so you will not need to have a gateway. But the process of setting up is a little bit different, and we will go through all of those steps now. So I have a folder that is stored on a SharePoint site. Now, the key when you are looking at a SharePoint folder as being your source data is the main kind of problem a lot of people have is first right off the bat grabbing too long of a URL. I do not need this entire URL. The only thing that I need is the site. So I'm grabbing that root URL kind of right up here to the end of the site that I'm on. And that is the only thing that I will take from this URL. And then in Power BI, I will navigate to this folder based off of that site. So you might have a site with a ton of stuff and you're gonna weed through a bunch to get there. You might not have a lot on the site and it's gonna be really easy to find. In this folder, I have a sales data folder with 3 separate Excel files. Each one of these Excel files is set up the exact same way. It has the exact column structure, the exact column names, the exact data types are getting stored in each file. Each one has different amounts of data. One's 10 rows, one's 15, one's 20. Keeping it small to make it really fast for us to work with today. I also have this exact data set in a file if you would like to download it and work alongside with me, or feel free to use data that you have stored in your own SharePoint site that you want to set up for a Power BI report. So here in the Power BI desktop, we're going to start off our project by going to our Get Data dropdown. Here we can see all of the common data sources. Now, the regular folder and the SharePoint folder, not in this common list, so we're going to go with More. And here I can see the regular folder, but I want that SharePoint folder. So I'm just gonna search for folder. I will see the regular folder that is for locally saved folders of data. And we're going with SharePoint folder. Now, when I hit connect, it's gonna prompt me to enter the URL of my SharePoint site. We only need the root URL. We don't need this, we don't need everything. We're not gonna get to point exactly here. We point to this site and then we will be able to find that information by sorting through some things when we're in the Power Query Editor. So we enter our root URL and we will hit OK. And now you'll be prompted, if this is your first time connecting to this SharePoint site, you may also be prompted to sign on. You would need to use your same Microsoft credentials, whatever Microsoft credentials you're using, right? That's that same 365 Office credentials that you're gonna be logging onto with SharePoint. You just need to go sign in again with that Microsoft connector for that. If you've already connected in before to that SharePoint site, you probably will not need to authenticate again. Every few months or so, it may prompt you to re-authenticate. Once you are signed in, if you need to do that, you will have this preview window. And here we are just seeing all of the different data items that are stored on, in my case, my awesome training SharePoint site. I've got some options down at the bottom. Now, we know cancel, obviously, if it's the incorrect source. Transform data takes me right to the Power Query Editor. Load takes me right to the desktop. Combine, well, I can combine every single item that I see and everything else that is there and take it to the Power Query Editor, or I combine everything and stick it to right here in the desktop. I don't want to do that, right? Because there's a bunch of stuff in here. There's PNGs, there's GIF files. There is a lot of information not relevant to what I want for my report. So I definitely don't want to go with one of these options. I'm going to go with transform data. I will go into the Power Query Editor, and then I can pick and choose what I would like to bring over. So we're here and we can see it's in query 1, but it's listing every single thing that I have on my SharePoint site. You might have a ton on your SharePoint site. You might not have anything else on your SharePoint site. So I always like to consider in the future, I'm probably gonna have more data. Odds are we're capturing some more information. So what I wanna do is be able to find the items that I need and account for, hey, potentially in the future, right? How can I find this in the easiest and best way? Now, you have a lot of different columns about the data. This is not necessarily information that's captured from the data, it's just about the data. So the name of it, what file type it is, the data was accessed, modified, created. The very last column is the one that I care about, and that's what I want to sort the data by or filter it by. And I can use any of these, right? If I only care about a certain file type, I could filter the extension, maybe only look for Excel files or Excels and CSVs, right? You could filter that to narrow down if you're having a hard time finding your items. What I care about though is the folder path, because this way I can then just select the sales data folder. The sales data folder is stored on the site. I have a few different paths I can follow for different folders. I only care about the files that are going to be in the sales data folder. And I'm going to combine any and all of the files that are in the sales data folder on SharePoint. So I'm going to select that bottom option in my folder path URL. We're going to hit OK. Now I can see I am now only seeing the 3 Excel files that are saved to that SharePoint site. This is the moment where you're saying, all right, I am going to have future files in. How are they going to fit in this process? Well, what we're going to do next is actually run through the process of appending or combining these 3 files together. So we're going to come up here to our content column, and we can see we have this double down arrow, and that is going to combine everything that is in this folder. Now remember, when we either hit a manual refresh or set up a refresh schedule in the Power BI service, it will start from the very beginning, our source step, and it will run through every single thing to see if there's new data. So as soon as we hit that refresh, it's going to go out to SharePoint. It's going to see, is there any new data? It's going to bring it in. We would see that right here, right? And then it would go to the next step of combining it, the next step of any changes, edits, modifications, etc. that we did to the data. So let's go ahead and hit that double down arrow to combine everything that's currently in here. We're gonna see some output on the left of some helper queries that Power Query creates for us, and then we will have our output at the bottom. So I can see in this preview window, I can set the sample file as the first file. Hey, whatever is the first file alphabetically, numerically in this one, that's gonna be your sample. Or I can specifically set a certain one if I say, hey, always use this as the reference for the column structure, column names, everything like that. I'm just gonna leave it at the first file, and once I make sure I have that table selected, we'll hit OK. And here we go. We can see on the side we have a parameter and a function which work together to take all of the separate files and combine them together. And that gives us this output, this query 1, where I can see every single item that I have combined in here. You can see that file name over here. I can always delete this source name column. This kind of gets added by default when you do this process because it will run through and it will essentially just show you where your data is coming from. It comes in here, again, by default as part of the process. If you don't need it, feel free to always hit remove. It is nice though, if you're tracking and seeing what data is coming from what report, it is nice to keep. We can also see right now, I have a built out fact table that I'm tracking. I have 45 rows of data in here, and I know that that's successful because then I know, right, my first one had 10, the next one had 15, the last one had 20, so all of my data has been appended. I can see my file source in that original column. Now this is the point in your process where your data's in. You can do all of the Power Query changes that you would like in here. You can do anything related to your data modeling, right? If I want to also have a customer table and a product table and I want to break them off from here, definitely good things to consider for this data set. I would do that right now. Once you make all of the changes that you need to in the Power Query editor, you can go ahead and hit that close and apply to let that load down to the Power BI desktop. And we can see we have all of those columns of data. I'm gonna put this into a table because the next part of our process, and really the last part, which is a test to make sure that our From folder is set up properly, and we're gonna add in a new file to that folder. We're gonna hit refresh and make sure that the data that's in the new file comes on in to our report. So I'm gonna grab the customer name column. Let's also put over the product, and I'm also let's grab our total sales. So I can see who bought what for how much. Back on my SharePoint site, I am going to duplicate one of these. It doesn't really honestly matter which one you do. We really just want to duplicate one so we easily have the same column structure. And to do that, you can go to your ellipses, that 3-dot link, and we're going to go to copy to, and it's going to drop it into the exact same spot. So it's just giving us a copy of the same file in the same spot. And this is going to be our test to make sure we can see our new data coming in. So once you see, here's my copied one down here, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna modify the data to make it really obvious who is coming in here. So I'm gonna delete all of the records, and I'm gonna change the name on the first one. So delete everything but the first record, and I'm gonna put my name as the customer name. That way it's gonna be really obvious. You can go ahead and put your name in that first row of a product. You can even change the product categories if you would like to. I'm only gonna change the name. That's just gonna be the verification I need to make sure, hey, as long as I see my name in the data, I know my refresh is going out, getting all the data from SharePoint, any updates in my files, and bringing it back. So we now have 4 files that are in our folder, but in Power BI, I currently only have 3 of those files. So this is where if you publish out to the Power BI service, if you set up your auto refreshes, it would go on that routine schedule to back to SharePoint, get any data, bring it back on the schedule of your choosing. You can of course always hit the refresh button here in the Power BI desktop anytime you want to see updated data. And here's the moment of truth, right? You should hopefully see your name now listed in your visual. So now your Power BI reports are fully automated using SharePoint. You are able, for all those daily, weekly, monthly, annual reports where you want the same exact things done and you're just getting updated data to add into it, set this process up and set your refreshes up, and you will have these reports done once and you never have to go back or redo them over and over and over again. If you are looking to learn more about Power BI and some of the other elements in this process that I mentioned but didn't really cover, like how do we clean stuff up better in Power Query, right? How are we setting up those refreshes in the Power BI service? Definitely join me over on our on-demand learning platform. You can use code Allison40 and that'll get you 40% off your annual membership. And I have an intermediate Power BI class that would be great for your learning to build that Power BI knowledge up for you. And don't forget, if you are kind of bewildered with SharePoint and you want to learn more, I have a whole series here on our YouTube channel here with Pragmatic Works that dives into SharePoint, and you can learn all about SharePoint, SharePoint sites, list libraries, and more. So let me know in the comments if you have used From folder from SharePoint. What is your biggest challenge with SharePoint and Power BI? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, subscribe to our channel so that way you will see all the latest and greatest as soon as it comes out. And I will see you in the next video.